Is Mystery Babylon rebuilding the hanging gardens of ancient Babylon and in what will probably be the most transhumanistic city in the world? One look at this artist's depiction of Neom, likely the coming capital city of Mystery Babylon, it sure looks like it. Neom is a $500 billion mega project of Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Neom has been envisioned as a, quote, living laboratory made up of towns and cities, ports, enterprise zones, research centers, sports, entertainment venues, and tourist destinations. It will definitely also be a woke city of inclusion and environmentalism, and a transhumanism city, as we just said. More on that in a second, but first, a shout out to Jason Lawrence, who shares this understanding that Neom may be a prophetic city and who researched this for us. Now, Mystery Babylon is described in Revelation 17 and 18 as an empire that initially rules over the beast. It rides the beast. As per Revelation 17:3, it's drunk on the blood of the saints. As per Revelation 17:6, it rules over the kings of the earth. As per Revelation 17:18, and it is governed by merchants who rise to power using something known as pharmakia, as per Revelation 18:23. So all these things sure sound like a one-world empire and, unfortunately, like what seems to be forming before our eyes. However, a lot of you may ask, hey, wait a minute, isn't Mystery Babylon also known as the Great City? Yes, it sure is in multiple places. So doesn't that make it a single city, you might ask? And the answer is no. Great city might mean a single city in our modern English, but in biblical times it meant a network of cities. We see this in Genesis, in the very first use of the term in the Bible. This is Moses' description of Nimrod's empire, and notice how he refers to the empire network as a great city. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land he went forth into Assyria and built Nineveh and Rehoboth-ir and Calah and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah. That is the great city. Genesis 10:10 through 12. Now great in the Hebrew language is gadol, and in Greek it's megas. In both cases, the primary meaning is big in magnitude or vastness. So widespread is a very appropriate term. A widespread network of cities, in other words. However, there is no question that some aspects of Mystery Babylon seem to require it to be a single city as well. In Revelation 17, John sees a vision of Mystery Babylon riding a beast in a desert. The whole world isn't a desert. In Revelation 18, both the kings of the earth and the merchants stand outside the city and watch the smoke of its burning. Again, this can't be the whole world if kings and merchants are outside of it, and great luxuries are brought into it, further pointing out that something more is going on here than just a one-world empire. Can it be both a single city and a network of cities? And that's our theory. Every kingdom needs a capital city. So we propose some of the single city references are to its capital city. And in our opinion, the best guess for that capital is Neom, the yet-to-be-built city in Saudi Arabia. Now, there are several other possibilities like Jerusalem, New York, Mecca, Rome. All of these have been proposed by scholars, but let's look at the clues in the text and see why we think Neom might be a better choice for the capital. The first clue is that in Revelation 17:3, the woman who represents Mystery Babylon, is seated on the beast in a wilderness or desert. And he carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness, which means desert, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, full of blasphemous names, having 7 heads and 10 horns. In Isaiah 21:1, we see this same thing, where Babylon is described as a wilderness by the sea. Wilderness, again, meaning desert. So it's both a desert and it's by the sea. This clue seems to eliminate Rome, Jerusalem, Mecca, and New York. None of these cities are both by the sea and in a desert. Only Neom truly fulfills both aspects from the cities we mentioned. The idea of Mystery Babylon being a port city is further reinforced by Revelation 18:17 through 18, where every sailor bringing its cargo laments when it sees the smoke of the burning of Mystery Babylon. So these are reasons that Neom just makes sense. It's going to be a massive city in the northwest corner of Saudi Arabia. It will be a seaport, that is, in a desert. Only a few other cities in the world could possibly meet these criteria. What also stands to support Neom is it is going to be a showplace of sustainability and wokeness. It is being built that way intentionally. No other city can lay claim to that either. It's our opinion that the billionaires of the World Economic Forum will use the United Nations and the World Health Organization as the structure for this one world government. And we have already shown that Mystery Babylon's great ones or commanders are merchants, and they come to power by deceiving the nations with pharmakia. Most know the World Economic Forum is in favor of something known as stakeholder capitalism, that corporations and governments jointly should rule the nations. But many aren't aware that the UN and the World Health Organization favor this as well. I bet that's news to most of you. The number one donor of the World Health Organization is none other than our friend Bill Gates. Surprise, surprise. And the UN's governance statement begins like this. With the support of business and other stakeholders, the UN Global Compact's governance framework was adopted by the then UN Secretary Kofi Annan on August 12, 2005. Notice that business is mentioned and nation states aren't. So the coming Mystery Babylon government will use the UN to control the nations and make them subservient to these billionaires. That is how it rules over the kings of the earth per Revelation 17:18. So all the woke agenda of inclusion and environmentalism being promoted by the World Economic Forum will be the agenda of Mystery Babylon. Thus, they will want a capital city that reflects these things, and Neom will be unlike any other city in the world in terms of wokeness. So although we haven't proved Neom is Mystery Babylon's capital city, it fits all the criteria that other cities simply don't. Now, let's return to looking at Neom and their plans for it. Neom means new future in Arabic, and it certainly fits its name. Projected it to cover like 10,000 square miles on the Red Sea in northwest Saudi Arabia, this large-scale project plans to create an environment where humans and technology can interact, notice that, in aspects such as energy, mobility, manufacturing, agri-tech, health, and livability, and possibly integrate with each other. The project plans to use its strategic location to become the center of world trade and be accessible to 70% of the world's population in under 8 hours through its recently constructed Neom Airport. With already 10% of the world's trade flowing through the Red Sea, this major port will revolutionize that number in our opinion. Remember, Revelation 18 shows the wealth of all the nations are going to pour into Mystery Babylon. And if Neom is the capital of Mystery Babylon, it's going to pour into that city. Now, another key goal of Neom is for it to become a lead example of a sustainable city. It is projected by the UN that the globalists will force 2/3 of the world's population to live in urban areas by 2050. Of course, we believe Jesus will come back sooner than that, but that's their opinion, in order to control them with smart city technology, cameras, etc. You know what we're talking about. Although those areas will probably be more like slums, like what Calcutta is like now, it's our opinion that they're going to promote the idea with a city like Neom. Neom also plans to use its natural surroundings to be a lead example of alternative energy, using the 3 things it has around it: seacoast winds, tidal currents, and sunshine. The globalists will love Neom for this. As part of the Neom project, the architects are planning a massive megastructure called The Line, The line is going to be composed of two parallel skyscrapers laying on their sides from the Red Sea shore through the desert and all the way to the mountains. It will be 200 meters wide and 500 meters high, higher than most of world skyscrapers today. And they're planning this to continue for like 170 kilometers. They estimate it would be like having 3,400 skyscrapers side by side. It is this part that's going to resemble the hanging gardens, as they are planning waterfalls and gardens to hang off the interior sections of a line. They're also talking about crazy things like flying cars and even an artificial moon / surveillance satellite. But most important of all to the globalists is NEOM's promise of being a transhumanistic city with nanobiology labs, AI running everything, etc. It's likely that only those with the mark of the beast will be allowed to live there. At least that's our opinion. And that seems interesting and possible. Mohammed bin Salman has said that everything in NEOM will be linked to AI. Does he also mean the people? I assume he likely does. The biggest problem I see, though, with this project being Mystery Babylon's capital is time. How long they anticipate it's going to take to build this thing. They're saying 2030, they're actually going to be starting. But that seems way too late for my conception, my personal conception, of when the 70th week of Daniel will start. However, we could be wrong about that on this channel, and it could start much later than we think. When will the move to this governance system with the United Nations begin? When will they take over the governance from individual nation states? It appears they think it will be sooner than you think. Click right here to keep watching and discover they're planning to start this year. And wait till you see who they plan to use to lead your thoughts and your minds. Till then, this is Nelson, and I'll see you there.